Hi, folks. I'm Jamey Hiles.
And I'm Lydia Judy.
This is Scream Bloody Movies, the podcast where we review a horror movie each week. We go over the horror news, and we're down to two co-hosts again this week. Derrick could not make it, so it's another duo. Just same as week one, but just you always get me, unfortunately. Sorry, folks. How you doing tonight, Lydia?
I'm doing all right. Trying to feel better. Just been trying to get over the sickness.
Still not over the cold?
No, it's just the colder it gets outside, I feel like the worse it's getting again.
Wow, we had a sickness hit our household and put us each down for only a day, and we got right back up. So
That's lucky.
yeah, lucky indeed. We got a great show tonight because Lydia, tonight we are talking about your pick, a pick that you picked,
Hmm.
which is Stuart Gordon's Castle Freak. So, what do you know about Castle Freak, Lydia? And have you ever seen it before?
I have never seen this movie before. I have heard of it. I listened to a few other horror movie podcasts and I've heard it mentioned a few times and I've always been curious. And then it kind of just kept coming up. I think you guys mentioned it in the first episode of this season, and then um
Then we did Stuart Gordon's Reanimator in episode 2.
yes. So it was kind of fresh in my mind. So I was like, maybe now's the time. We better watch this thing.
That's great. This is one of those that I did not grow up with. I didn't grow up with Castle Freak, but I do have vivid memories of the box art. So
Okay.
that box art with, Giorgio's freaky face, I remember seeing in the horror section of this video store.
Okay.
Like, I never watched the movie or anything, but that box, I remember seeing it and being like, "Oh, that looks fucking scary." Like,
Yeah.
I need to check that out sometime.
I'm not
But I
familiar with
never
that cover, so I'm gonna have to look that one up.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty great. Are you looking it up?
Yeah.
It's it's just, a picture, just a close up of his face, essentially. So it kind of reveals the monster,
Okay,
but
yeah. Yeah.
it's so captivating, the cover is, especially with that font.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah, there's
So
some
it
really cool variations of the cover too.
Yeah, there are some cool variations that aren't the original one. There's one
Yeah.
that I saw that's like a drawing with the daughter, you know. Did you see that one?
Yeah. Yep,
The
that one
animated
looks
one?
really cool.
That one is gorgeous, I think. I was like, "Oh, man." I really like that one. Uh, so yeah, I this is one of those, like I said, that I didn't grow up with. So all of this stuff was new to me until about, I would say, 2018, 2017, somewhere around there. It was around when I first got Shudder, and I was listening to a lot of Movie Crypt, of course, and they had mentioned Castle Freak, and they had Sue Gordon on as a guest. And I was like, "Oh, that sounds. I need to check that out sometime." And then I was scrolling through Shudder one night. There it was, Castle Freak. So I decided to give it a watch, and I remember vividly being like, "This is one fucking weird movie." Like, I didn't know what to expect, and to be fair, that's kind of a good thing because it's completely unexpected, a lot of things that happen in this thing. So, I was kind of on for a ride. So when you picked this last week, I was like, "Oh, I am really excited to see Lydia's thoughts on this thing." I have Derrick's rating. He'll give us more thoughts next week, but I have his rating for this movie, so we'll give it at the end as well.
Cool.
Uh, what do you want to talk about first? I guess, do you want to do a little backstory?
Sure. What do you mean by backstory? What is there
So
to tell?
some behind the scenes of how this thing like started to get made. Like the process to this getting made is kind of really interesting. It was basically Stuart Gordon went in to meet with Charles Band at Full Moon for a completely different project, right?
Mhm.
And, was just kind of I don't remember exactly what the situation was, but he saw they had a mock poster on the wall of, like, an idea that they had called Castle Freak. It was just a poster of, like, that said Castle Freak, and it had, like, a woman whipping some creature.
Oh my
And
gosh.
Stuart Gordon was like, "Hey, what's this?" "What the hell is this?" And he's like, "Oh, it's just a concept we have called Castle Freak. You can have it if you want. The only parameters are that it has to have a castle, has to have a freak, and it has to have a woman whipping a freak." S and so, he had just made From Beyond and had made Reanimator. He wanted to do something lower budget, you know, something a little more wieldy. So, he was like, "Yeah, I'll do that." So, we got together with a screenwriter, they hatched out a story loosely based, very loosely based, the kind of concept of a man being trapped in a dungeon and getting out and realizing he's disfigured is from H.P. Lovecraft's The Intruder, or The Outsider, I mean, The Outsider.
Okay.
So, he pulled from Lovecraft because that's what Stuart Gordon does, and, they were given $500 million to go shoot in this castle that Charles Band owned. And they went to Italy for a month. They shot this movie in under a month or
Wow.
around there
Wow.
for $500,000.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so
You know what's funny though? I when I was watching this movie, I was like at one point, I just kind of, like, thought to myself, like, "I bet they had the name of this movie before they filmed it."
it definitely feels like a reverse engineered kind of thing, like Castle Freak.
Yep.
What can I fit into that square peg, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's so funny that you said that that's pretty much how it happened, it
That's how
sounds
it happened.
like.
Literally
I
was a
love that.
concept. Yeah, it was literally a concept,
Like, "How
and then
about
it was
this?"
a film. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
So, of course, I guess Stuart Gordon was the most excited about doing it on a low budget meant that he had final cut, and he could cast who he wanted to. He didn't have to have cast, pressed upon him. So you know, got his friends, got his friends together to shoot it. You got some,
Yeah,
you know,
familiar
get
faces.
you get Jeffrey Combs and Barbara Crampton come to Italy and shoot a fucking movie with me in the castle. um, so yeah, I guess also we should mention that Jonathan Fuller is who plays the freak Giorgio. So here's what's also funny. I forgot to mention this. So I told you that it was Charles Band's castle that he owned, right?
Uh-huh,
He Gordon 4 years earlier, Stuart Gordon shot the Poe adaptation, The Pit and the Pendulum, in that same
uh-huh.
castle. So Charles Band just uses this castle because it's free. If you own it, it's
I
literally free
mean,
production value because where else would you get, a castle, right?
right. Yeah, I wish I
So
had
it's
that
kind of
castle.
yeah, it's pretty awesome. Uh what do you think, Lydia? We'll get into the specifics of story beats and stuff, but what do you think of the freak like as like a makeup effect and what
I
have you?
have I have to say I absolutely loved it.
He's amazing looking, right?
Yeah, like, just kinda blew me out of the water with how great it was and how actually scary it is.
Dude, very scary. There's actually a scene, and we'll get into more, like I said, specifics in a minute. But there's a scene in this movie that I mean, there's tons of scenes I find disturbing, but there's one scene that I was genuinely like, "Oh man, that's actually pretty scary. That scared the fucking shit out of me." Is
Yeah,
when they're running from Giorgio, we'll just call him the freak. When they're running from the freak, and or they're hiding from him, and they're walking through the hallway, and Becca knocks over that vase, and it
yeah,
breaks, and then
yeah.
he runs around the corner. I was like, "Oh!" The way it's framed and the way he runs around there, I kinda got a little bit of hair on my arms stand up. I was like,
Yeah.
dude, that would be fucking scary. That would be creepy as
Yeah.
fuck.
For me, it was when he's, like, in his little dungeon room or whatever, and he's, got that sheet on him, and it's all, like,
Mhm.
bloody and, like,
Yeah.
covering half of his face, but you can still kinda see his teeth, like,
Mhm.
that I was like, "That is a scary image."
It really is, and also when he's like, after he's taken Becca and he's holding her from behind and, like, staring at Barbara Crampton, he's
Yeah.
really scary there too.
He kind of, like, felt like a wild animal, like, for
Yeah,
real.
yeah. In the his bodysuit that they put him in is also amazing, right? With all
Yeah,
the scars and making him look emaciated and shit.
yeah. I was trying to study, like, where's the seams on this thing? Because
Optic Nerves
how
Optic
did they
Nerve did
get
the
that?
makeup effects, and they fucking knocked it out of the park, man. Especially for a
Absolutely.
$500,000 budget, man.
A full bodysuit, man, his
Yeah,
head to toe covered.
yeah.
Wild. That's
Amazing,
wild.
amazing stuff. Um, so I guess what do you think of like the just what are your thoughts on the story itself, like the general premise of, I mean, it's kind of a classic premise. You inherit a spooky old castle and there's some dark secret in there.
Mhm.
And, what do you think of that like setup?
I like it. I especially like the fact that this movie was filmed in the '90s. It kind of like I don't know, kinda hit a nostalgia for me of, you know yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I feel like you don't really see movies that have a plot like that anymore. It's kind of
No.
overdone a bit,
Yeah. Yeah, and
but
I
it
mean,
kind of felt right for this.
yeah, it's pretty good. I think it's a pretty solid there's some like disc like plot holes if you really think about it, like, so after the old woman died, nobody checked out every room in the fucking castle and saw that there's literally a cell that's holding a fucking creepy ass dude under there, you know?
Right. Yeah.
But you're just like, maybe Italy police during that time was just not the most thorough. So, you know,
We're a little biased.
yeah, you get it. You just kind of give it a pass. But um we also have what I think is really interesting about this movie is it's at times just as much of a drama as it is a horror film, interpersonal drama, because we're dealing with some themes of loss and not only like loss of life, but loss of self and loss of relationships and self destruction. There's some pretty heady themes in here. And that's not even to talk about how, you know, creepy, as evil as the freak becomes, he obviously didn't have a chance because of his evil mother. What do you make of some of these themes, especially like the whole kids, the subplot of the drunk driving and that backstory?
Yeah, I think it's super oh man, it's just such a deep subject that I don't know, this movie doesn't feel like it should go as hard as it does.
Right, because the
Like
concept is kind of silly.
it it is kinda campy at times, and then it's, like, also just, like, goes as hard as it can, and it's just like,
Yeah,
this is a super dark what's happening to this family. They're clearly, like, not doing well, like, the husband and wife are not doing well. The daughter has been affected by this whole thing.
blinded, literally.
Blinded, yeah. It's just like, how I mean, I couldn't even put myself in their place because I was like, "That's just too much. That's already too much." Let alone now you
Yeah,
have to, deal with this.
now
Uh,
you have to deal with this creepy intruder. Yeah,
yes, exactly.
yeah. I think it adds a layer. I think it makes this movie feel like a little weightier. Like it's different from other Stuart Gordon films, especially like if you're talking Reanimator style.
Mhm.
Whereas it doesn't have the the comedic beats, like, in the fun atmosphere. It's a way darker atmosphere.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still some camp in there, like you said,
Yeah.
uh, but it's almost not completely devoid, but very light on like comedic relief.
Yeah.
There's some bits, and like the lawyer has is kind of comedic, and there's bits like that. But like, like the whole atmosphere of the castle is just kind of there's this dark cloud hanging over because of this backstory that you're kind of piece fed. You
Mhm.
kind of get early, they tell you early on that they're not together when they're meeting with the maid, and she kind of he Barbara Crampton says, "Hey, can I get another room?" For "Oh, you expecting a guest?" No. And Jeffrey Combs' reaction is pretty great. By the way, what do you think of the performances in this movie?
They're great. They're fantastic. I like that
Yeah,
moment specifically when he's just kind of lost staring off in his thoughts when she's requesting another room, and I was just like, "This is this couldn't be better. This is
yeah.
fantastic."
I think that's the biggest strength of the movie is the performances. I think they're pretty strong, like very strong throughout.
Mhm.
I mean, there's some actors that are not the best. Some of like the bit players aren't as great. Becca's pretty solid, but Crampton and Combs, they fucking crush it. They're really good in this movie, I think.
Yeah, and, the
And of course, the freak was great.
the freak is great. The sex worker, I thought was the
Oh,
best actress in the whole movie.
she's really good in it. Yeah, yeah, she's really good too. She's really good. Um, dude, that scene. We'll talk about it here in a second.
Yeah, yeah.
But so yeah, it's kind of interesting, like how you know I think it's actually pretty scary when the cat goes in and where the creep is the freak is awakened, and like that shot of his face and his eye opens and you're like, ugh. And then
Yeah, and
he
he's, like, starving down there.
yes, yes, he's dying, and then he just eats the cat alive, and
Yeah.
then gets out, and then immediately starts just being like fucking creepy. Instead of like, he doesn't know how to act. He doesn't know. He's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
feral animal.
You
And
kinda feel
so
bad for him a little bit.
do at the beginning. That's what I was saying. Like, I was like, man, I feel bad for the poor guy, and
He's been
wonder what would
tortured.
happen. Wonder what would happen if they found him, and then we're like, hey, buddy, you need some
Let's
help? Let's try to fix you.
reintroduce him
Yeah.
to the society at some point.
Like that scene when he walks into her room the first time and she's asleep. Ugh, it's so scary. Like, just the thought of that, she's laying there and he's just like reaching for her face and just pulling her blankets down and everything. And the fact that she knows somebody's there, but they don't believe her because she can't see.
Yeah.
And she didn't see it. And they didn't see it because he hides. By the way, I've got to say, Jeffrey Combs' character, um, which we'll talk about a little bit more in John, has the worst fucking awareness of any human being
Oh,
I've
yeah.
ever seen in my life of
Oh,
physical
yeah.
space. Like, he literally walks into that room when they're, like, talking about his daughter there. He l just walks in with that grabs that club, and then just walks right through, and the fucking freaks underneath the sheet, and he's just like I was like, "What are you doing?" That was the worst job of checking a place. And then later, when he's in the wine cellar by himself, and the the freak is bent down,
Mhm.
and he looks and doesn't see him, I'm like, and my favorite of all time is towards the end when he goes down to break open the crypt to prove that Giorgio is not buried in there. And then when the police arrive, they're like, oh, they find the dead bodies. It's like, how the fuck did John walk by that room full of dead bodies?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like,
That's a
what is
really good
going
point.
on?
Jake
Unless
pointed
we're
out
let
that when the creep runs out of the girl's bedroom, it looks like they come in
Mm,
the door that he just ran out, like, directly
super
after.
fast. Yeah, super fast.
And I was
He's
like,
like
I thought
really,
it was a different door, but Jake was like, "I'm pretty sure that was the same door. They
he's
should
just
have
like
seen
really
him."
super fast. He's really
I
super fast.
guess. I guess so.
He's a hide and seek master. He has been hiding down there for 40 plus years, Lydia.
Has he
He
been
is a
hiding or has he been just chained?
Well, I mean, he's been captive, but basically, you could count that as hiding, I suppose. Nobody knew he was there for 42 years.
Gosh, poor
Uh,
thing.
so that opening, what'd you think of that opening?
The opening with the, like flogging and all that.
Yeah, with all that, like, what was your thought? I wanna
I
know
thought
your initial thought process when you're watching this.
I actually really thought the opening was pretty cool. It 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 hooked me in, you know?
Well, yeah.
I was like, "I gotta know what this lady's doing, what this cat is doing." You know, like, every character I was
Mm,
already completely invested in.
yeah, because 'cause you're like, "What the hell is going on?"
Yeah,
It just
and
starts
you
with this
just
violent whipping, and you're like,
yeah.
"What is
She's
going
like
on here?"
well, it starts with
And
her,
then
like,
she
cutting up some old food and stuff, and you're just like, "Ooh, that doesn't even look appetizing at all."
yeah,
Couple sausage links.
yeah, and a couple of freaking big piece of bread, and you're like,
Yeah,
you just throw
dry
it.
old bread.
So you're like, "Okay, so she's feeding him, keeping him alive, and beating the shit out of him and torturing him. What a
Yeah,
terrible fucking human
horrible.
being."
Just
Yeah,
horrible.
yeah.
Yeah, I did. I really liked that intro. It was disturbing.
So let's talk about the scene, Lydia. Let's talk about the scene. And we'll talk about all the scene together because it's kind of all lumped together a little bit.
Mhm.
So after basically she confronts John, Barbara Crampton's character,
Yeah.
um, Susan confronts
Mhm.
John about because he takes her down because he sees like the crypt of Giorgio, and the picture looks like their son JJ, who he killed in a drunk driving accident. Um, and blinded his other daughter. Which, by the way, totally on Team Crampton for this one. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't blame her. You can't blame her.
No, no, that's hard. That's hard. Uh, it's one thing. It'd been one thing if he wasn't drinking and an accident occurred because that's just an accident. But when he's drunk and then the accident occurs, then it's
Yeah.
a responsibility.
It's just
Mm,
unimaginable tragedy
y- yeah,
and
yeah.
guilt and blame that's going around.
I could not live with myself. I'll just tell you that right now. Would have been like I just couldn't. Could not. If I was the one that caused that, no way. Except unless I had to for my daughter, I suppose, you know?
Right, yeah. It would be hard even if it was an accident and you didn't cause it, you
Yeah,
know?
right. Yeah.
You find reasons, you find reasons to blame yourself even in any
Mhm.
situation, so,
All situations. Things
yeah.
that aren't your fault at all, that you had literally no control over, you weren't even there.
Yep,
You still blame yourself sometimes.
because that's just how hard these, like, traumatic events can be, you know?
Yeah, yeah, they change worlds and lives, and, you know, that's what happened to this family, is this thing happened, so, when they're down in the basement and she tells him, basically, at first, she's like, "JJ's gone," trying to comfort him. Trying to actually be a good person and comfort him, and then he immediately starts trying to, like, fucking mac on her. You're like, "What are you doing, guy? Read the room." And
Yeah.
she immediately is like, "You know what? No, fuck you. I wish you would have died instead." Which, fair enough.
Basically,
Fair
I
enough.
her reading of that line was
Mm,
just she just nailed it. Like, it was just, like, it was very heartbreaking. Like,
yeah, and
her speaking her own truth.
yeah,
Is
and his hurt
saying such
at
a
that line is
dark
great
thing.
too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
his hurt
wow.
his hurt on the line is really good too, because you can just
Mhm.
feel it like,
Oh, yeah.
"Oh,
It
yeah."
shocks him to his core
It
for sure.
Yeah, and he goes to jump off the castle. He
Mhm.
runs to get away, and then he contemplates jumping off the roof of that castle before he talks himself down, and then ends up getting jumping off the wagon and getting
Mhm.
drunk at this bar. This is like one of the bits of comedic levity in there is because he just gets it's devastating because he's off the wagon, but he gets to do some fun little like drunk bit,
Yeah.
acting and stuff, and this woman starts hitting on him, and you're immediately, dude. I remember watching this the very first time. I'm watching it, and she's like, pulls out asks for the lighter, and then gets the drink, and then I was like, dude, she's a sex worker.
Mhm.
That's a sex worker, and he's so oblivious and drunk to it. He's just like, oh, she really likes me. I was like,
Yeah.
no, she sees you as an easy mark because you are.
Yeah.
Um, so he takes her back to the castle, and then we have this super awkward sex scene. What did you think of this? this sex scene here.
Yeah, I was just like, "Gosh, this director, is not shy." This
No,
kind
he
of
didn't shy
stuff.
away from, and you're just also just like, that his wife's upstairs, that he's
Yeah,
cheating on his wife,
yeah,
she's a sex worker, and then the devastation and heartbreak when when she asks for the money, and
yeah,
he realizes, and then he feels even more pathetic about himself,
yeah.
is all that is great, by the way.
I was so frustrated at him too, like, I was like,
Yeah,
"You idiot, like, what are you doing?" Yeah, I'm, like, yelling at the
yeah,
screen, like
yeah, "Fucking moron." Yeah, yeah. I know. I was when I was watching it yesterday, I was doing that same thing. I'd seen it, so I knew it was coming, but I was like, "Fucking idiot, what are you doing? Come on.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
also you didn't even put on a condom. What are we doing here?" Like,
Mhm.
and also, it's like literally 25 seconds.
Yeah,
That was the
right,
entire experience.
right, yeah.
And so he feels pathetic about that on top of it, and you're just like, oh. So, yeah. And then, he tells her to get out, and then she's, of course, abducted by the freak, and then we
Mhm.
get the scene, Lydia.
Yeah,
This is the scene that I was like, either this scene is gonna completely lose her, or she's also gonna find it, like, super impactful and scary.
yeah, yeah. I
So tell me your thoughts.
I can't say I was well, like, okay, so she's getting ready to leave. She's walking through the creepy castle, and
Mhm.
immediately it hits me like, "Oh, no, I don't like where this is going."
Yeah,
So, I kind of knew what was gonna happen, but I didn't know what
yeah.
was gonna happen,
You
so
didn't know
you're
what was gonna happen. Yeah, I figured she
yeah,
was gonna die. I was like, "Oh, the freak's gonna get her." And then
yeah,
the
but I
scene
was
happened, and I was like,
because you
not
know that
prepared.
the freak saw that happen, so you're
Mhm. He
thinking, like,
watched all of it.
he wants some of that action, So you're like, "Oh, no, this girl better get out," and then, yeah, he snatches her up, and it's it's disgusting. It's really it's I mean, I don't even know how to talk about this scene, it's so crazy.
It's
I've
so
never seen
disturbing.
anything like this in another movie
No,
ever.
it's such a fucking well-directed, like, disturbing, like, truly disturbing scene. Like, the
Yeah,
blood everywhere as he's, like, nibbling at her and, like, you know, trying to be sexual with her, and the fact that she, like, tries to play it because she knows, "Oh, maybe I can get out of this," and then she feels that he's, like, basically not, complete. He's a eunuch almost,
yeah.
and when she feels that,
Well,
oh my
it
god.
it
Yeah.
shows the whole thing.
Yeah.
It shows
Yeah.
all of it. I was
Yeah.
so surprised at that. I was like, What is
Yeah.
what?" Like,
Yeah.
you're speechless when you see this, but it's like it just goes to you gotta give it to
Yeah.
the makeup people
Dude, and then
for making
when
this look
he's
so
like,
crazy.
when he bites her
Oh, yeah.
breast, and,
Yeah.
like, it looks so real because the prosthetic looks real.
Yeah.
So when
It's
he bites it off, it's just like, it looks real. It looks
it's
really good.
so nasty and
Oh,
gnarly.
yeah. And then he's just, like, biting pieces off of her and being like, "Oh," and he's, like, like, that's how he's sexualizing.
Yeah.
And it's like, I remember watching that for the first time, and I kind of felt sick to my stomach, like, "Oh my god, that's, like, fucking crazy."
Oh, yeah. I can't imagine watching this as, like, a kid in the '90s wanting to watch a
Oh
scary
my
movie.
god.
There's
Y
just I mean, this would've terrified me out of my mind. Luckily, I
This would
had
be out of
Jake with me, and we were kinda, like, laughing about how crazy it was the whole time,
yeah.
but I probably would've felt sick, though, if I had to watch
Dude,
this on my own.
like I said, I watched it by myself. Uh, Sarah was in bed, it was just me up late at night, and that didn't help with it was late at night, and this is going on. I remember just being like, I was like, "I hope Sarah doesn't fucking walk in on this part and be like, 'What are you watching?'"
Yeah,
How do I explain that? But
right.
that scene it is super impactful. It might be too far, some may say, but you know what? Art is art, and, like, it's memorable. You don't forget it. Like, it's the one scene when I thought about rewatching this movie that I was like, "Oh, there is that one really gross scene."
Yeah. No, I could tell by your reaction. You were like, I'm really excited for you guys to see this." You're like kind of your tone was like, "Something crazy happens in this movie for
Yeah,
Jamie to be
yeah.
shocked of us
N
watching it."
and let's put this into perspective. Last week, we watched a movie where a decapitated head was trying to perform oral sex on a nude woman strapped to a table.
That's true.
So if I'm
Yeah.
saying after that, "Oh, there's a fucking scene,"
Yes,
like,
exactly.
imagine how that scene is tame compared to this. And the difference is tone. The difference is
Yeah.
tone.
Mhm.
This is played straight, and so it's
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah.
Reanimator's played for laughs, so it's fucking goofy and silly.
Yep.
Um,
I think it would have been almost scarier if it would have been shot, like, a little bit darker. I felt like the lights were so
yeah, but
intense down in the dark dungeon.
I think that was purposeful so we could just see there's no hiding the
Yeah.
special effects, so we could
Yeah.
see the impact of what's happening. I
That's
agree,
fair.
because the lighting in this movie is there's some scenes that I think it's too dark.
Right?
Uh,
Like, when they're running in the hallways and stuff.
yeah, well, more like when they're walking into a different room and it's like just it's like the ISO hasn't adjusted or whatever.
Mm,
But I mean, like I said, they shot this in less than a month
yeah.
and on a $500,000 budget. 'Cause, for that, the movie looks incredible, you know.
Mhm.
But yeah, that scene is and then the freak bludgeons. He goes on his killing spree. He bludgeons the caretaker to death, which is the lawyer's sister. And then there's a whole subplot of John being arrested because they can't find the sex worker who has a child with the police chief. So it's like, Jesus Christ.
He's really in a bad spot with this.
Yes. And then they find, he was the last to see her. And then the caretaker finds her billfold in her handbag. And then when they go to basically question John and, Susan's leaving, she's like, you know what? I don't care. You can go search the castle. So they're like, all right. And they all go back. And that's when John, they hear the banging and craziness and they find because he figures it out. Because she said, I'm done being a whip or, something about whipping boy. And he's like, whips. Why does she have a whip? And then it like kind of all clicks in his head.
Yeah.
And so he to himself, he's making perfect sense. To everybody else, they think he's a fucking madman.
Yeah.
Because they're like, what are you talking about? None of this makes any sense. You're just
Yeah.
rambling on about a boy that died, 40 years ago, you know, like I don't understand. So, this third act is where he goes on the killing spree and it's basically one long chase scene. What do you think about the third act of this thing?
Let's get into it. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, this is where like the kind of fun and craziness comes out, right?
Mhm.
Because we get those
'Cause
two police deaths.
yeah, so
Um,
that's kind of satisfying in a way because you're like, they didn't believe it was in there.
yeah, 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 and they're like incompetent as fuck.
Well, they don't know
For
what
the
they're up
course.
against.
Pop for the course when it comes to the old police in
Right.
movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what police are good for in movies is to be cannon fodder. Um, but yeah,
Especially these guys.
yes, yes, especially these guys. The one guy goes to get water and he's not as incompetent. He sees the freaking stuff falling and he's just like, I'm just gonna stick my head right underneath this.
Yeah.
And he gets hooked up in the chains. And then the other cop so fucking sleepy. By the way, I've got to say, there is one thing that really cracks me up is it's her fucking just insistence on them getting her water fucking
And
kills me.
she's
I've got to say it.
thirsty. She's
I've got to,
thirsty.
I've just got to say, it's so funny. It's like, lady, it's your house. Just walk in and get the water.
Well, she's not
But
supposed to leave. Like, they're guarding
co-
her. So
yes, I understand. But it's her insistence
I
on
thought
it
it was
is
funny too.
so funny
Yeah.
because she's like, could you get us some water? He leaves.
Yeah.
She comes back out, talks to the sleepy guy.
We have no
Uh,
idea how long that was because that man is asleep. That could have
yeah.
been plenty of
So, I
time
mean,
for him to fall asleep.
listen, unless he's the president of the United States, it it has to be more than 2 seconds.
Well, because she's like just so frustrated about it. She's like, "Okay, well, they said they're gonna go get it, so
Yeah,
they,
she's
it's
like, and
it's
then
on
she
its
goes back
way."
out, "Hey, buddy," and he's like, "Water." "Oh, yeah, yeah, agua. I'll go get it, blah, blah."
Yeah,
And then he
yeah,
gets his eyeball eaten by the old freak, which, by the way, he walks in, sees a sheet laying on the ground of clearly a body that's covered
yeah,
in blood, by the way, and he
yeah.
just wha
Well,
that would be one
the
of those where you grab your baton out and you start fucking poking it.
the survival instincts of
Something.
these people.
They have none. They
Yeah,
have literally 0.
yeah.
So, he gets his whole eyeball eaten. What do you think of that effect?
I don't
It's
I
fine.
don't even
It's
remember
fun.
that one. I don't even remember seeing that. Like, there was
Yeah,
so
you kinda
much.
see, yeah, it's fun. It's fine. That's how he dies, gets his eyeball bitten out. And then we get the
Always
dude,
fun.
when he knocks he knocks Susan out by, like, fucking just slamming her head into the
Yeah,
wall.
I was really mad at her for being non-survival instincts in
Yeah,
this
just
moment
being
because I was like,
a
I mean,
dummy.
here they just went missing,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
there's reason to believe there might be someone in the castle.
Well, the thing is they don't believe there is. They literally all think that
But
except for
don't you think even if you didn't believe him, that, I mean, in that moment, it might cross your mind?
yeah, well, would believe my I would feel like I would hope that I would know I mean, you never do know. Your spouse could be a murderer, but, like, that sloppy of a murderer, and you've been married to him for at least 16 years because that's how old
Oh,
freaking
yeah,
Becca is, so it's like, you would
yeah.
think that
You
you
would
would
think
have some sort of, like,
she would've been
"No?"
like, "I don't think he's capable of doing that."
Yeah, and, I mean, because she mentions with, Becca says to her, you know, "You think dad did it, don't you? Or do you think he did it?" And then she goes, "You do because you think he murdered JJ."
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah,
she, like, kind of catches her off guard, like, "Oh my gosh." And then she says, something along the lines of, when they're praying, which, by the way, that scene fucking makes me laugh too. It's like, "What do we do?" Okay. She just gets down on her knees and prays and says, she's asks that a god can help her mom forgive her dad.
yeah.
And then, she gets
Brutal,
knocked out. Yep.
brutal.
Then so it, like, kind of, shakes her. Then she says, something about, like, "Maybe I don't wanna be normal," or whatever, and she's like, "Becca." I was like, "What?"
I love
Your
that.
tone change. Yeah. And then so she gets knocked out, and then Becca's still just rambling on because she doesn't know her
Yeah,
mom left the room.
mhm.
And, the freak
Which
comes
is
up to her, and
rude.
yeah, and the freak they do that to her all the time. But she also just, like, fucking wanders off, and they have no idea where she is. Like, how do you not hear first of all, okay, we'll go back to this ending here in a second, but that
Yeah,
scene where she walks away from John,
uh-huh.
and when he's looking at this stuff, I know he's concentrating really hard on it, but it's not like she's a able body person that you can just get up and stealthily walk out of the room. She is blind, and she's, like, walking around with a
She's
stick, and
tapping
he
it.
doesn't fucking hear any of that.
Yeah. Yeah, like, he had to have sensed her walk out of the room
Yeah,
in
you would
some
think.
way.
But these like you said, they all have their instincts dulled, apparently.
Yeah, that's
Um,
what castles do to you, I guess.
the castles just dull the instincts. But,
Definitely not all the trauma.
so we get that chase scene. What do you think of the chase scene? Like, well, first he grabs her and takes her down um to the dungeon,
Yeah,
and he starts, like, this is where he unmasks himself.
yeah.
What'd you think of all that when that
Yeah, like,
happened?
he realizes that she
That
can't
she's
see him.
Yeah,
That was
John
kind of a
Cena.
cool moment. Yeah. It was kind of a cool moment, and you get to see, like, his face fully and
Yeah,
the
because he's like
full.
feels comfortable showing his face. Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah, that was cool.
and
Very
and
frightening to
then
see him.
yeah, and then he not wearing the sheet for the rest of the movie, so just running around naked.
Yeah,
And then we get that freaking. That's what I was when we talked about earlier when he gave her that like feral look when she
yeah.
comes in,
That
and she's
was
like, "Get away from her!" And he's like,
I felt that. I felt that in my bones. That was fantastic acting right there.
"Yeah, it's super scary, right?" You're like, "Oh."
That was very scary.
And then, she has the knife hidden in behind her back and stabs him. By the way, for a guy who's been chained up for a long time and barely eaten and all that beaten within an inch of his life,
Yeah.
motherfucker is like hard to kill. He's strong as fuck, apparently.
He's so strong. It must have made him resilient.
Yes, his resiliency, because she stabs him in the back and he fucking shrugs that shit off, dude.
Well, he
Comes
kind
right
of
for
says
him.
ouch a little bit, you know.
Oh, he does say ouch and like screams and falls and shit, but it's like, um,
But he keeps going.
he keeps going. He starts trucking after him, and we get that shot I was talking about. And then
Yeah.
meanwhile, John escapes the police. Uh, this is the one scene in the movie that I just do not like is him escaping the police station because it's bad.
You think it's
I think
bad?
it's yeah, because I think there could have been a better way to get him there,
Yeah.
like have her phone the police when they find out that the cops are missing, and then he's like, "My men are missing," and he's like, "I told you they're there," and he's like, "Well, you're coming with me," and they go to the castle, right? And then he confronts them. Then you could have also got a little higher body count, but the fact that the police officer smacks him in the head with the baton, they pull him off, and then he gets up, hides behind the door, hits the guard. All the other police officers are just gone. He just easily crawls out of the window and then treks. God knows how far the police station is from that castle, all the way
That's a
there,
good
and then
point.
somehow ends up on the roof with them. It's kind of a step too far, but I'll allow it because you want the
You're right.
climax,
Yeah.
right?
I was worried about the police officer getting hit in the back of the head so hard like that.
Yeah.
That worried me.
Oh,
I was
but
like, "Man, that's
by the
dangerous."
way, there is a blooper that I spotted, and I don't usually point out bloopers because films are hard to make, continuity is hard. All that shit doesn't bother me. But this kind of made me laugh when he's crawling out of the window after he hits him with the billy club. And I think it's just because I don't like the scene that I noticed. The rubber billy club is like bent.
Oh, no.
When he's crawling out, you can see it bent. I was like,
Oh.
"Oh, saw that."
Hey, I didn't even catch that, so
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. Like I said, I don't normally point that shit doesn't bother me. But
yeah.
it just made me laugh on it because I was like, "Man, they could have found a better way to get him out of this police station." Because I just feel super contrived. You
Yeah.
could have had there be some different momentum, or even if he does escape, make it be like he holds him at gunpoint and, like, steals the car or something.
Yeah.
But
A bit
they
more
did
tense
not
than
have
just
a
knocking them all out.
they only knocked one guy out. Just knocked one guy out and ran. But they didn't have a huge budget, I get it, that's fine. But it just seems like it makes the police look even more incompetent, to be honest. They had one guy, a murder suspect, and they didn't even have, like, 3 guards on it. They just had the one guy. Then they're, like, watching fucking Wheel of Fortune or some shit, I don't know. Um, what do you think of the ending of this? The battle on the rooftop? First of all, I say from a production value standpoint, looks great.
Yeah, I agree. The, terracotta tiles on the
Mm,
roof with the
the
rain hitting
rain,
them, it all looks really nice.
yeah. And we get a couple of hero shots for, Jeffrey Combs, you know,
Oh, yeah, with that
sh
look back at his family, and he's like, "I'm gonna do it."
yeah, he's got the billy club and at when he beats the shit out of him and stuff. But that fucking freak just keeps on coming,
Yeah,
and so
but he's still got that
hits
big
him.
long chain attached to him.
Yep, he's still got that chain. So he ties himself to him to keep him from the family, then jumps off the building. What did you think of that?
I loved it. It
Yeah?
was perfect. Perfect ending.
Yeah, I mean, he made a lot of mistakes. He atoned for 'em, I suppose, with that.
Yeah, it was kind of the fact that he already almost jumped off the roof, I mean, it's not that you wanted him to jump off the roof, but I think if he didn't, the ending wouldn't have been as impactful.
Yeah, and it's like, also, I mean, so could he have found a way to kinda pull the freak off there without jumping?
Yeah, like,
Probably.
be hanging on the ledge, but that's what every
Yeah,
movie
pull
does,
him.
you know?
Yeah, but he cuffs himself to him, so he takes him down with him, and, it's poetic. So then
Yeah,
we get that great shot of them both laying on the ground, and we get,
yeah,
like, the final goodbye scene, um, you know, which is fine. It's a little
yeah. It's like they're
saccharine, but it's fine.
both both options are kind of cheesy if you look at
They're
if
just
he would have
cheesy. There's
survived
no
or if
getting around
he
the cheese of this ending
Yeah,
altogether.
yeah, I think this was a good one though, because yeah, he gets that,
Yeah.
like,
Mhm.
that death scene of saying goodbye to his and
Yeah, and he gets to die a
he
hero,
loved his
right?
wife. Yeah, he
Yeah,
kinda
gets
does.
to die a hero, gets to redeem himself in her eyes because he
Yeah,
saved them both, sacrificed himself to save his daughter and her, and he ended the terror of the old freaking freak. And surprisingly, we don't get a jump scare. Like, we don't get the freak rising up one last time when they're down there, which you would maybe get in some movies, you know,
mhm,
because it's right there. I know it's like I can tell you, it's kind of tempting. You're like, oh, maybe one more, but
yeah,
Stuart Gordon has the restraint to say, nope, he's dead because he's like, emaciated and he fell off of a fucking castle. He's done.
and he's got a giant knife through his
He's
torso,
got a
you know?
knife in his back. He's fucking done for. Um, so, yeah. What do you think of like the final shot, like that bit where they're walking to the car and they see
Yeah,
the
like
police chief with his son and he
the
kind of
hearse and
tips his
yeah,
hat to her,
I like it. I liked it.
like kind of paying his respects, realizing that he was wrong, admitting he was wrong,
Mhm, yeah.
and
Yeah,
paying his
I really
respects.
liked that, and I liked that she kind of gives them a smile, like, they're gonna be alright,
Yeah, and
'cause
that there's another father and son. Yeah,
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 that can continue.
and
Yeah.
she looks fabulous.
Well, Barbara Crampton is just one of literally the most beautiful creatures that's ever walked this earth.
So fashionable, so gorgeous.
She's stunning. She's
Yeah,
stunning. Yeah.
yeah,
To this day, she's stunning.
yeah,
And like every time I see her, I just I love her. I think she's a great actress. But every time I see her, I'm just like, my God, what a beautiful woman. Like just
yeah,
like that's beauty personified to me, Barbara Crampton. And yeah, and Becca is really good in this too. Like I said, she's
mhm.
not as strong as our lead. She's fine. She puts in a solid performance.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
I liked her character.
yeah, and she has some funny bits when she's like, you know, I do. There's this bit where they're sitting at the dinner table when they're talking to the um the caretaker, and she talks about how was she, talking about the old lady, the Duchess, and everything, and it just makes me laugh because like throughout the rest of the scenes in the movie, she wasn't wearing her sunglasses, but then they cut to this table and she's just wearing the sunglasses, and for me, it made me laugh. I was just like, they didn't want to put the contacts in that day. Let's throw on these
Right.
shades.
Yeah, good point.
We're running low on makeup time, Joe. Can we just
Oh, man,
we're just
and
gonna throw on we're just gonna throw on the
those were uncomfortable too.
oh yeah. Uh 90s, 80s and 90s contacts were not the by the 90s they started to get better. But dude, those 80s contacts,
Yeah,
Bruce Campbell talks about it in the Evil Dead movies. Like
yeah.
they could only wear them for 20 minutes at a time because they dry their eyes out.
Oh my gosh.
That's wild.
Yep. I used to have some contacts, some white ones. Scared a few kids at
Mm.
school on Halloween with my white contacts.
Bleh, I'm
That's
scary.
That was, like, before they got really popular for a while there. Everybody had contacts on
They did. Everybody was wearing those colored contacts. Back in our day.
back in the day.
Back in the day, they were. That was a thing. Yeah, definitely a thing. Um, so yeah, that's the old Castle Freak. The music I didn't really mention. It's serviceable. There's nothing like really memorable to me
Yeah.
about it.
It's not, like, stolen from Psycho or anything like that.
So it's kind of less memorable because it's not stolen from Psycho. Yeah, I will say. Um, it's Richard Band again. I mean, he does all, Charles the full moon stuff. But I can't like think of it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. It was kinda generic sounding a little,
mhm, mhm. Yeah, it
but
was fine.
it was fine. Yeah.
Uh, yeah. So this movie was a straight to VHS release. It didn't get a theatrical run.
Mm,
Uh,
can't
so it
imagine
was
why.
released. Yeah. Well, it was supposed to be released unrated. I mean, that's why Stuart Gordon shot it the way he did. Was like, I'm releasing this thing unrated, and there's no distribute. Not only did they have a small budget and a time crunch and all that stuff, but they were like, there's not going to be any um no distributors. Jeffrey Combs, I think, is quoted by saying it's going to be hard to find a distributor to release an unrated film, especially this one. So it was straight to video. They had no promotional budget, no marketing budget. So this was just literally like unceremoniously released on VHS in on October 24th, 1995. Uh, and it had R-rated and unrated version. The VHS did.
Mm.
But, yeah, so they had no, like I said, no money to do one sheets or anything like that, so there's no posters.
I mean, imagine just one person seeing this movie, word of mouth, it's gonna get out, you know?
well, that's what happened. That's what happened. It found its audience through word of mouth, and, it became, like, kind of like a cult hit because it's, like, this strange little fucking wild you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Little
absolutely.
movie. So,
Kinda like,
Lydia,
gotta see that.
yeah, what do you think of Castle Freak, and what are you gonna give it?
I liked it. I think I might even have liked it a little bit better than Reanimator. Um, I don't know. I guess I'm just gonna give it a 7. I guess I can't say this is like a masterpiece for me or anything, but it was really
No.
fun. I'm
Yes.
glad that I finally got to see it. I definitely
Yeah.
recommend it
Yeah,
to
yeah,
certain
it's
people, don't watch it with your parents maybe.
no, well, rule of thumb is don't watch most movies that we recommend with your parents.
Yeah, yeah.
Unless it's like unless
Or
it's
your
one of those
children,
PG ones. Yeah, if it's one of those PG ones, Poltergeist style, you can watch that with your
Mhm.
parents.
Yeah.
But, most of our especially when we're digging into the '80s catalog,
Oh, yeah.
in the '90s catalog, it's not probably not for your parents.
Yeah, yeah.
Derrick, uh, gave this a 6. He gave it a 6. He didn't elaborate, he just told me that it's a 6,
That's
and
funny,
we'll
we
get his
swapped.
thoughts
I feel
next
like
week. You did,
yeah,
you did, because I
he
think you gave Reanimator a 6 and he gave it a 7.
yep,
I gave it an 8, I believe, right?
I think so, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
so I'm gonna give Castle Freak a 7, like you. I like this movie. I think it's really interesting. I think it especially the second time seeing it, I think it kind of is just a fascinating movie. Like, it's not the best movie ever made, and it's definitely not Stuart Gordon's best movie, I don't think. We have to still do From Beyond, which is fucking we'll get to From Beyond. But, yeah, I like this movie. I think it's pretty good as well. 7 for me. Great
Cool.
performances, looks great for the most part. Amazing makeup effects. Really like a really memorable, creepy villain, right? He
Yeah,
should be more well
definitely.
known, I think. The Freak should be more well known
I agree.
because he's so scary.
So
All
freaky.
right, he is. He's a freak. And then finally, we've got to aconize this movie.
Thrill me.
Who would
Oh
Tom
my
Atkins play
gosh.
in this? He would have to just be the police chief, I suppose.
Yep. Yep. I think so. Yeah, or the lawyer.
Or the lawyer, I suppose, yeah. Uh,
But those are kind
yeah,
of
I
they're
mean,
supposed to be Italian, though.
they are supposed to be Italian. I
I
mean,
don't
the only
know
person
if
they could technically be would be freaking Jeffrey Combs, but he's gray. I don't really wanna replace Jeffrey Combs.
yeah. Yeah, maybe in, like, an alternate universe, that might have
Yeah,
worked.
I mean, in that universe, Barbara Crampton would have never left him. She would have said, "You can do whatever you want, Tom
Yeah,
Tom Atkins. I don't care who you kill."
right. Yeah, maybe
Um,
that's the movie we needed.
yeah, it is a movie that the world needs right now. Uh, so next week it's my turn to pick, and I already know what we're gonna watch. We're staying in the '80s, and then we'll move, forward, but there's just a movie that I've been thinking about a lot, and I think it's a perfect time to watch it because 'cause we've never done it before. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but next week we are going to watch Toby Hooper's Life Force.
Life Force.
Mhm. You ever seen
Never
Life
seen it.
Force?
Nope.
Excellent. It is streaming on Tubi currently. You can also find it on Amazon, YouTube, Fandango, Apple TV, and Google Play Movies. Life Force. It is 1985 Life Force. So that's what we're going to watch next week. So do your homework so we can check that one out. Um, be sure to comment down below on your thoughts on the freak that is Castle. Have you seen this? What's your thoughts on it? Do you like it as much as we do? Do you think it sucks? Let us know below. We obviously think it's pretty good. Lydia and I do, at least. We're right in the camp for it. Um, Stay tuned after to watch the opening scene for Secret Admirer, the feature film we are currently working on. We also are about to announce a new short that we are going to be filming in the coming months. Stay tuned for that. You'll find all of that information at HiLaProductions.com or on Facebook at HiLa Productions. So check those out. Be sure to share and like. And until next week, for Derrick Lemaster, Lydia Judy, I'm Jamey Hiles. Remember, if you're going to scream, scream bloody movies.